So, most of you probably don't know this about me, but way back in the distant year of 2015, I started a Let's Play of Plants vs. Zombies. I didn't finish it, of course. I'm not really sure how anybody could finish the mobile version, but that's neither here nor there. For some reason, I also pretended I had never played the game before. I guess I thought people only did Let's Plays on games they'd never played. I don't know, because I've been playing Plants vs. Zombies for as long as I can remember. I played the demo on PC, and I was hooked. I got the game on DS that Christmas, and oh boy, I played it. I spent so much time on the minigames and trying to max out my Zen Garden, I don't think obsession is an understatement. I later lost the DS cartridge because I'm an idiot and started again on mobile, where I beat the game at least a couple more times. It's safe to say, I'm a fan of Plants vs. Zombies. I rebought the Game of the Year edition on Steam a couple of years back and gave the main story another playthrough. You know what I've never done though? I've never gotten all the achievements. These always interest me. Maybe I should give them a try. Playing Plants vs. Zombies is ridiculously simple. According to the Help tab, all you have to do is sit still and do nothing until the zombies get to your house. No, that's not right. Your only goal is to keep wave after wave of zombies from reaching your house using only the power of photosynthesis and some seeds. You have to earn sun to plant plants to fend off the undead. You start out with only one lane to manage, but before the end of the first world, you're up to 5. Sun falls from the sky on daytime levels, but if you want to actually be able to afford anything, you'll need to plant at least a row or 2 of sunflowers. You unlock a new plant at the end of almost every level. A pea shooter that shoots 2 peas instead of 1, a Venus flytrap that eats zombies alive, a starfruit that shoots in 5 directions at once. There are so many options and combinations of plants, you could use an entirely different strategy every level if you wanted to. And you'll need every one of them if you want to take on this game's selection of zombies, ranging from dudes with a powerful shield only susceptible to chemical warfare to absolute behemoths that crush plants and can take 4 hits from insta-kill weapons. Almost every plant has an accompanying zombie to render it pretty much useless, and vice versa. Luckily, they always give you at least a level to get used to a new plant or zombie. It doesn't ever feel overwhelming. But if you get confused about something, just look it up in the Suburban Almanac, the game's encyclopedia that offers not only details on all the plants and zombies you've unlocked, but also brief insights into their personal lives. But if you thought that a colorful cast of enemies was all that this game had to throw at you, you were sorely mistaken. Like I mentioned before, you start out on your front lawn in broad daylight, but before you know it, night falls, which means that no more sun falls from the sky. Pretty soon you get to build up a collection of mushrooms, which are significantly cheaper than day plants, but have fewer upgrade opportunities. Once you make it through the night levels, you'll move on to the backyard. It's day again, but that renders your mushrooms useless. Plus, you now have an additional lane to manage and a pool dividing your front yard that requires lily pads if you want to plant there. Of course, we also get some fancy pool zombies to worry about and some exclusively aquatic plants. After the pool levels, you get to do the pool levels again. At night. In the fog. You also get this water puff shroom that takes way too long to recharge for some reason. And then finally you move up to the roof, where the slope of the roof forces you to use catapults, and mushrooms again, since you get the coffee bean, which lets you wake them up during the day. The main adventure mode is short, sweet, and fantastic. You could probably plow through it in a Saturday, and you definitely should, but if you want to go for 100%, there is a lot more for you to do. Mini games. So many games, and most of them are really good. I love Portal Combat, Call 'em Like You See 'em, Begooled. I really wish we got to see more of a lot of these game modes, especially The Last Stand. It would have been awesome to see a version of this in every other environment instead of just the pool. None of these are really that hard. Once again, you could probably get all of these trophies in an afternoon, but they do add quite a bit more playtime, which I think is great. After minigames, you have puzzles. These confuse me. Not like in a puzzle type of way, I'm just not sure what's so special about these 2 game modes. You have Vase Breaker, which tasks you with breaking every vase on your lawn, with some of them containing plants and some of them containing zombies. And my personal favorite, iZombie, where you actually play as the zombies and have to make your way to the house across a full lawn of randomly generated plants. I love it. What confuses me is that there really isn't anything inherently special about these game modes that make them deserve 9 levels in an endless mode over anything in the minigame tab. Like you're telling me that people would actually notice if they had to put Whack-A-Zombie in the puzzle tab instead of Vase Breaker? Anyway, if you're going for 100%, you'll need to get a streak of 15 in Vase Breaker Endless and a streak of 10 on iZombie. Vase Breaker Endless really isn't that bad. Just stick to the strategy and don't let yourself get in a hurry, and you'll probably get through on your first or second attempt. iZombie Endless, on the other hand, You see, in Vasebreaker Endless, you literally just have to get through 15 rounds of Vasebreaker. The board resets after each round, so even if you have a really close call, as long as you can finish out the round, it doesn't actually matter. In iZombie Endless, your sun carries over between the rounds, meaning that one bad round can ruin the entire run at a moment's notice. In Vasebreaker, even though the order things come out is random, you will always get the exact same plants and zombies. In iZombie, who knows what you'll get, and getting certain types of easier layouts are crucial to being actually able to get through it at all. This stage legitimately almost made me give up on 100%. It took like 3 separate days to beat, but I did it, which brings us to the final tab, Survival. Survival tasks you with running through each of the game's 5 areas for 10 flags worth of zombies. This pretty much plays out like one really long level with a chance to swap out your plants once every couple flags if you want to. I'm kind of conflicted about this mode. If you're playing the game casually with no real pressure to complete all of the levels, then this is honestly great. A mode to let you use all of your new plants from the shop and absolutely dominate a continuous onslaught of zombies. But for somebody playing straight through the game to 100%, this part is just kind of annoying. By the time I got to this point, I was just kind of ready to be done, so sitting through what's basically the equivalent of 25 levels didn't exactly excite me. And then of course there are the hard modes, which are the exact same thing except a little bit harder, so the equivalent of 50 levels, or the length of the entire adventure mode. Only after you finish all of this do you get to take on the final challenge, Survival Endless. You will need to survive 20 flags, and oh my goodness, this one is hard. Remember the Gargantuas that can tank 4 of your insta-kill shots and keep walking around? Imagine a whole wave of those on top of a regular amount of zombies. Bring cob cannons. So, you've beaten the adventure mode, all the mini-games, conquered the puzzle stages, wiped out survival mode, 100%, right? Great job. Well, assuming you've been taking care of the other stray achievements throughout your playthrough thus far, there's only one more thing to do. Grind. You see, in order to buy every optional item in the game and buy enough fertilizer to grow the Tree of Wisdom to 100 feet for the Towering Wisdom achievement, you're going to need about $500,000. How do you get money in this game? I'm glad you asked. The fastest way involves a setup that looks something like this in the Last Stand minigame. If you're lucky, you can get about $8,000 every 5 minutes here. I'll be generous and say you only need to grind $300,000 after all the money you get from playing the game normally, so you're looking at about 3.5 hours of this crap. That's not the worst, but I feel like it's important that everybody knows that this is the kind of activity that doesn't take even close to enough attention to keep you entertained, but also requires too much concentration to do anything else. This was the worst part of the entire run for me, especially since you don't even get anything besides an achievement for the whole Tree of Wisdom thing. Well, I did it. I 100%ed Plants vs. Zombies, and all I had to do was play through the adventure mode, beat all the minigames, master Vasebreaker and iZombie, slog through the survival mode, grind $500,000, and round it all off with a second full playthrough of the adventure mode just for the Yeti Zombie achievement. And it only took me 60 hours! Not bad, right? This game was definitely not meant to be played all the way through from start to finish the way I did, but hey, my first Steam ribbon sure does look nice. If you haven't already played Plants vs. Zombies, you definitely should. You just probably shouldn't follow my example if you're interested in the best experience. You can pick it up for only $5 on PC and Xbox One. Even the DS version is solid if you can find it. Just stay away from the mobile version. I've gotta find a way to record that doesn't require complete silence the whole time because these longer videos are brutal. If you like them though, you should drop a like and subscribe. So close to 500 subs, we can do it. Of course, check out my other social media down below, and as always, thanks for watching.